Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for coming.
You said he had a question for me?
Yeah. Look, Elizabeth invited me to her wedding, which was incredibly gracious of her, but I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable.
Meaning me?
Well, I mean, Lucky and Elizabeth are your best friends. Friday is an important day for you, too, and if my presence is going to make things awkward, I would rather just stay away.
Of course, it's going to be awkward on some level.
Okay, then I'm going to call Elizabeth and I'll make an excuse.
Courtney, look, Nicholas and I were in love for years. I can't just cut off my emotions, but we agreed to a divorce, and every day it gets a little bit easier.
You know, Elizabeth just invited me to be polite, Emily.
Elizabeth is a kind and generous person. It's one of the things we all love about her so much. And this is her day. It's not mine. I see how petty and self-serving the rest of my family can be, and I'm not going to fall into that, Courtney. You're with Nicholas now. You and he may be having a child together. Of course you should go to the wedding with him.
I spoke with Luke. Doesn't seem interested in showing up tomorrow, so there you go.
He could change his mind. You know, he loves Lucky. Besides, when two people are as right for each other as Lucky and Elizabeth, fate has a way of making things fall into place.
Yeah, the trick is getting him to stay that way. So, I'm taking bets on who's gonna blow the secret first. My money's on Audrey.
No way. Audrey?
Yeah.
It's Bobby. Audrey's been amazing.
No, not Bobby. She's a hopeless romantic. She'll totally get caught up in this whole thing. Lulu.
She won't see the bride and the groom until the wedding. I made Leslie promise. You know what? We've only got a few hours left, and I think we might actually pull this thing off. I brought music.
For what?
For the wedding.
Oh.
Here you go. Some in here. I was thinking we could play this when everybody's being seated.
Nice. Kind of dull, but nice.
It's not supposed to be exciting. Nicholas is sitting down music.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember this exact piece played at the original Bacchanalia Ball.
What? You remember the music?
And I remember everything. You were so handsome, and you only had eyes for Robin Scorpio.
That is not true.
You danced with her the whole night.
You have the mind of a steel trap, you.
I'll never forget it. I'd never seen anything as romantic as this room that night.
Well, you're going to see it again tomorrow because we are going to turn this into the most romantic place two people in love have ever seen.
Do you know Courtney came to see me?
What for?
She was worried that if she came to the wedding, it would be uncomfortable. I told her that this day isn't about anything but Lucky and Elizabeth and giving them a little piece of a fairy tale.
No, you're right. It isn't about us. It shouldn't be.
All right.
Here, let me help you.
Okay. All right. One. Oh.
Great.
Okay. So far, I'm uncoordinated and my taste in music is questionable. How about the menu?
Well, ribs, right? It's Lucky's favorite. Come on.
Nicholas, we're recreating the Bacchanalia Ball. Ribs
I
do
know.
not figure into the equation.
But it's not our fantasy. It's theirs.
No. I'm not going to serve ribs at a fancy ball. Do you have any idea how big of a mess that's going to make?
Well, we can get everyone those, those nice little plastic bibs and wet napkins, you know?
So mean.
All right, fine. We'll stick with the original menu, I guess. Just so you know, though, I haven't forgotten how you lied to me that night.
What did I lie?
You told me that you had eaten caviar before, and you hadn't.
Again, I was not going to tell the cutest guy at the ball, the sophisticated prince that I'd had such a huge crush on, that I'd never eaten caviar. What would you have thought of me?
I would have thought that you were a really cute girl who couldn't handle raw fish eggs, that's all. And that you were still pretty young, but that there was a pretty good chance that you'd turn into an amazing, beautiful woman.
I'll tell you a secret. Still not big on fish eggs.
Okay.
You know, it's late. I've got to go.
You're bailing on me right now?
Yeah, it's Lucky and Elizabeth's surprise. Yeah, it's at midnight.
Oh.
So I'll check in with you later.
Okay.
You are cordially invited to the wedding of your dreams. Not so far.
What do you think?
The room looks great.
So do you?
Thank you. You're pretty handsome yourself. I can't believe we pulled it off. Looks exactly the way I remember.
I know. Do you think they'll like it?
How could they not? This wedding is Lucky and Elizabeth's dream come true.
Damn it. Is there a problem?
You look more like a groom than I do. I haven't worn this suit since somebody's, I don't know, funeral.
Yeah, that's pretty pathetic.
You look beautiful.
Thanks. You look pretty cute yourself.
I thought you were going to wear that lavender dress you like so much.
There's been a change of plans.
There has?
Yes.
Does this have anything to do with that carriage that showed up last night?
Close your eyes and make a wish. Now hold out your hand. Open it.
The pleasure of your company is requested at the marriage of Elizabeth Imogen Weber.
To Mr. Lucas Lorenzo Spencer Jr., Friday, the 28th of October, 2005, at 7 o'clock in the evening.
At Windermere on Spoon Island.
Wedding ball immediately following.
Formal attire requested.
Everything you need is right here.
I can't accept this.
Well, you have to, because Emily worked too hard to pull this off. It would destroy her if you didn't get it together. Now, come on.
Elizabeth knows about this?
By now, I'd say yes.
Does Lucky know?
Nicholas went to tell him. They're on their way to Spoon Island right now.
You and Emily did this.
Well, we made the arrangements, yeah. But only you can give Elizabeth her dream come true, Lucky.
So come on, Cinderella. We have to get you ready for the ball. Believe it or not, Nicholas wanted to serve ribs tonight.
Oh my God, men. Em, thank you so much for all of this.
I swear, Elizabeth, it's the most fun I've had in ages.
It's all of us. We had to come. Oh, you darling. I'm excited. We got there. I told you. We did.
Were you surprised
surprised, Elizabeth?
Oh, Lulu, you have no idea. I'm still in shock.
Good for you for keeping a secret, Lulu.
I'm not a kid. I know how to keep a secret. I've got millions of them.
Trust her, she does. Lulu, is your father here?
No. Who cares anyway?
Elizabeth, you look absolutely glorious. All of you all look so beautiful.
Thank you. Part of my job description is to make sure you follow all wedding traditions.
Audrey gave you something new. And now the Weber girls have something old for you. Those pearls were given to me by my mother. I gave them to Laura on her 16th birthday. And now, Lulu and I, on behalf of Laura, want you to have them for your wedding and to welcome you to the family.
Thank you. Thank you. And little miss, when you're ready to get married, I'm gonna pass these on down to you.
Oh, you're gonna have to wait a long time then, because the last thing I want to do is tie myself down to some guy.
Oh, you are just like Luke. Definitely take after your dad.
So can you help me with
I
this?
would love to.
Thank you.
And Elizabeth, the Spencers want to contribute something borrowed.
Oh my God. It's beautiful.
That was actually Ruby's, and I know she'd be really pleased to know that you were carrying a little piece of her when you walked down the aisle today.
Uh-oh, here comes the waterworks.
Thank you. I love you. Oh, you're beautiful.
No, we're gonna ruin everything.
I know.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Mommy wanted to give you hugs and kisses before you went home to go night-night. I told the sitter we'd bring him out to her when we're done here.
Thank you.
Guess what, Cal? After today, Lucky is gonna be your daddy.
Daddy, that's right.
Cameron and I got you a present. Here, Cameron, show Mommy.
Did you get Mommy a present? Can you open it for me? Let's see what's in here.
Oh my goodness, look. Oh, that's perfect. Something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. Perfect. Everything is exactly how it should be.
Excuse me. If you see Mr. Castine, will you tell him that I need to speak with him?
Look at the little stripper putting on airs. Wrecked any homes lately?
Oh, stifle yourself, or I'll do it for you.
Even you can't defend her after she broke up Emily's marriage.
Guys, Emily asked us here to be civil and not to take pot shots at Courtney here.
It's nice to see you, Lainey.
You too.
I love your dress.
Let's see how long she can keep it on.
So much for being civil.
If you hadn't dropped your knickers, Emily would still be with Nicholas instead of living in Sonny's house.
And don't forget global warming. I'm sure that's her fault, too.
If you go into the study, there's champagne.
Oh, the little Twinkie's playing hostess.
I told Emily and Nicholas that I would help out.
Really? I'm surprised Emily didn't scratch your eyes out.
Because she is too much of a lady, so why don't we try to follow her example and rise above it?
Is this how they treat all the former in-laws?
Yeah, Courtney made the mistake of marrying both sons.
Double whammy.
Well, at least there's some good news. There are no Corinthos brats on the Quartermain family tree. Jason and AJ had the good sense not to have a baby with her.
know something's wrong, just tell me what it is.
It's not now.
I don't want you to start lying to me again. I thought we were past that.
Fine. I'm pregnant. And you're the father.
Dearly beloved, we have come together in the presence of God to witness and bless the joining of this man and this woman in holy matrimony. The union of husband and wife is intended by God for their mutual joy, for the help and comfort given to each other in prosperity and adversity, and when it is His will, for the procreation of children and their nurture. Into this union, Lucas and Elizabeth now come to be joined. If there is any of you who has just cause why these two should not be lawfully wed, speak now or forever hold your peace. Elizabeth Imogene Weber, will you have this man to be your husband, to live together in the covenant of marriage? Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Lucas Lorenzo Spencer, Jr., will you take this woman to be your wife, to live together with her in the covenant of marriage? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful unto her as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Elizabeth and Lucky have chosen to share their own vows, spoken to each other, and for all of us, spoken from their hearts.
You're just beautiful. I married you once when we were teenagers, in an empty church, with only God and each other as witnesses. We were unable to keep the promises that we made back then. But we'll be able to keep them tonight. Because the time that we spent apart has only made the love that we feel even more precious. Elizabeth, I promise to give you the best of myself. To be your friend, your lover, and your partner. I promise to be the best father I can to Cameron and to all the children that we will have together. I promise to remember the girl that you were and honor the woman you are. I loved you then, and I love you now. I love you always.
First love. The brave and handsome boy who rescued me. Thank you for loving me that much to make me whole again. We took our separate journeys to live and to learn. I guess we had to grow up a little bit before we could find our way back together. But I know that all the mistakes I made and the difficulties, they were all leading up to this very moment. Lucky, I promise I will never take you or our love for granted. I promise I will always stand by your side, support you, make you laugh, and cherish this amazing gift that I've been given. The gift of loving you as long as we both shall live.
Who has the rings? Bless these rings as a symbol of the vows by which this man and this woman have bound themselves to each other. Lucky.
I give you this ring as a symbol of my love. With all that I am and all that I have.
I give you this ring as a symbol of my love, with all that I am and all that I have.
Now that Elizabeth and Lucky have given themselves to each other by solemn vows and the joining of hands and the giving and receiving of rings, I pronounce them husband and wife. Those whom God hath joined together, let no one put asunder. You may kiss your bride.
Oh my God, it's all right, it's all right. I think I just watch where I'm going rather than just...
What happened?
Courtney got the paternity test back. And Jax is the father. All right, everyone, if you don't mind, please gather around. First, I just want to thank you all for making this such a great surprise for Elizabeth and Lucky. Most of you probably have absolutely no idea why we chose to have the wedding right here in the ballroom of Windermere, but there's a bit of a story behind it. Some years ago, we held a bacchanalia ball here. Everyone say bacchanalia. Bacchanalia. Thank you. It was in honor of my late Uncle Stefan's engagement, and for those of you who were there, oh, what a party it was, and we'll just leave it at that. But what you may not know is that Elizabeth and Lucky were falling in love for the very first time that night. Well, they watched the entire party through the window outside in the garden, and I don't know, I guess once they witnessed the festivities in here, they just got swept up in the romance of it all because they shared their very first dance outside in that garden. And for years, Emily and I have had both the privilege and honor to listen to the myriad of complaints as to how they were always on the outside looking in, both figuratively and literally. On the occasion of my brother's wedding to his beautiful, beautiful bride, we thought it was time that they come inside from the garden. So without further ado, I present to you for their very first dance as husband and wife, Lucky and Elizabeth Spencer.
for a signal for me to bring out the cake.
Em? Hi.
Hi.
I can't get over how comfortable you are here.
It was my home.
Well, technically it still is. I was watching you and Nicholas during the ceremony. You're both still so much in love.
Well, considering that you were so dead set against my marriage, Dad, you sure are pushing hard.
I never objected to Nicholas. It was his family. And I wasn't wrong. But the truth is, Em, you belong here with your husband.
Okay, everybody. The newlyweds are about ready to leave, so we go. Everybody got it?
I think so.
Yes, I have.
Ladies and gentlemen, have your attention, please. Thank you. It is now time for Mr. and Mrs. Lucky Spencer to come into the world as husband and wife. So, please, come on in.
We want to thank you all for being here.
You truly have given us the wedding of our dreams.
And it's not over yet. Your carriage awaits.
Yeah, come on, get out there.
I'm so proud of you.
Your grandmother would have loved every second of this.
Lila was the ultimate blend of hopeless romantic and true realist. She knew how to love and forgive and how to make a marriage work.
Well, not all marriages are fairy tales, as we know. But maybe Lucky and Elizabeth will be, thanks to you.
Seeing as you and Nicholas could work such magic for your friends, maybe you could do it for yourself.
Alan, I just want you to be happy. Oh.
You have to get changed. How do I thank you? Just be happy.
I am. I am.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So it must have been pretty awful thinking that Courtney was pregnant with Nicholas's baby.
It hurt at first. Then I adjusted.
Well, now you don't have to adjust. Because Jax is the father.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just ironic. I guess I didn't have to go through the pregnancy or the miscarriage if Jax and Courtney just gave it a little time.
Yeah, Jax and Courtney aren't big on patience. They want what they want when they want it.
Maybe they belong together, which would leave Nicholas free to go back to you.
Nicholas and I are over. He's with Courtney now. Jax may be the father, but Nicholas is going to help her raise the baby. There's no room for me in Nicholas's life.
Nicholas barely took his eyes off you the entire night.
We were your best people, Elizabeth. It was our job to present a united front. You know, Nicholas loves Courtney, and they're looking forward to the baby together.
But the baby isn't even his.
This is not a discussion that we should be having right after you and Lucky got married. But if you need me to convince you, I'll say it again. Nicholas and I agreed to a divorce. We loved each other very deeply, but we just couldn't make our marriage work.
Or maybe you're both making a mistake and compounding it by staying apart.
You knew.
I don't think you're ready to give up on Nicholas.
I already have.
Well, are you sure? Because if there's any hope at all, you need to tell him. He's not obligated to Courtney anymore.
It won't make any difference. Elizabeth, Nicholas has made up his mind.
I can't.
My life works fine without Nicholas, Elizabeth. I feel wanted, needed. It's exactly the way I want.
Can't you feel this way with Nicholas?
Not anymore, Elizabeth. Too much has happened. You know, Nicholas and I, we're fine. As friends. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember when I used to say the same thing about me and Lucky? Moving on is good, but sometimes going back can be even better.
Not anymore. Do you honestly believe that Courtney would go back to Jax after what he did?
Hi. Well, pulled off the impossible once again, didn't we? Yeah.
That's what fairy tales are all about.
It was great, wasn't it?
I guess all fairy tales have to come to an end.
Yeah, I guess so.
I have to go pay the caterer.
You never gave up. You've given me the honor of being a father to your child. You're the love of my life tonight and forever.
Yeah. Nicely done.
As always.
And to Lucky, my first and last love. You never left my heart, and you never will. Some of my happiest days have been spent with you, and even in my darkest nights, I knew you were out there, somewhere, holding on, loving me, just as I love you.
Nice. Very nice. Beautiful.
And to the only two people who could have created this wedding full of magic and love
And romance.
and romance, to my brother Nicholas.
And my dear friend Emily.
Tonight has been a long, long time coming, but we all knew eventually it would. You've defied the odds, survived adversity, and inspired each and every one of us. Somehow you've always been able to find your way back to one another by having the faith and the courage to follow your hearts. You're here.
They say all for one and one for all. I'm gonna puke.
So your next surprise is the honeymoon suite at the Metro Court. And Elizabeth rode a train into Port Charles, didn't you?
Yes.
And you met Lucky a couple of days later.
That's back when she was wild, right, Audrey?
Maybe a little.
So it only seems right that a train should carry you into your new life with Lucky.
That's right, because tomorrow, an antique train is taking the two of you into Manhattan.
I have to work.
No, you don't.
No, you both have 2 weeks off, the both of you. I've already arranged it, so. 2 weeks? Yes.
Oh my God.
You're here. Let me grab that. What you got here, bricks? Come on.
Yeah, Alice insisted she had Cook pack the ultimate gourmet picnic.
Wow, look at this. Your grandfather's gonna freak when he realizes she gave this away.
Lucky and Elizabeth deserve the best of everything. And I'd say this qualifies.
So I confirmed their suite at Bristol Towers. Are you gonna stay over?
Oh, yeah, it's their honeymoon. How much companionship is too much?
Yeah, I know. I just thought, they don't leave for Italy until the day after tomorrow. They have 2 weeks to wander Tuscany hand in hand. I just figured they might enjoy going out with friends until then.
Oh, well, then let's see something. Yeah, how hard would it be to get 4 tickets to a Broadway show or something, huh?
Yeah.
Courtney's coming too, isn't she?
Listen, I haven't asked Courtney to come on the trip yet, but if it's a problem for you, then I just won't.
In a way, it'll be easier. There won't be any pressure on you and me to act like a couple, and Lucky and Elizabeth won't be tempted to try any matchmaking. We can just celebrate their marriage as friends, which was the whole idea.
Nicholas, it says do not disturb.
I know, but if they don't get out of bed soon, they're gonna miss the train. Come on.
Something tells me they won't really care. Okay.
Go away.
Is it?
Yes, ma'am. This is the hotel concierge. We've been having some complaints from the guests below that there's some strange noises going on in here, furniture moving, things like that. Very fun. Listen, your breakfast is getting cold, all right? You need to pack. Train leaves at 6, gotta be on board no later than 5:30.
Okay, we promise we won't be late.
Yes, you know, we better get started. We have a lot to pack.
5:30.
Put me down. We're gonna be so
You certainly sound happy, huh?
No one deserves it more than they do.
Alexis?
Oh,
Here, no, I'll get it. I got it.
thank you. Actually, bending isn't my best event these days. Some might say it never was.
You taking a trip?
Actually, I'm fleeing to Manhattan. I'm sure you've heard. Everyone else has. My husband has slept with Reese Marshall. Although I don't know why that should matter, since I'm fairly certain that we were broken up at the time. But in any case, you know, he lied. Not that I never lied. It just gives a very persuasive argument to why there should be an immediate and permanent end to our marriage.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Sometimes a clean break is the way to go.
If you need any help.
No, I'm just, if you could get this suitcase on the train for me, I would owe you forever.
Yeah, I can do better than that. Nicholas rented 2 private cars on the 6 o'clock to Manhattan. You can ride with us.
Oh, I don't want to impose,
No,
really.
Alexis, you'd be doing me a favor. Nicholas is bringing Courtney, and having you along will make things a little less awkward.
I adore my nephew, but he is an insensitive clod.
Yeah, I told him I was fine with it.
Of course you did, because you didn't want to give him the satisfaction of wasting any of your tears on him. Emily, for the record, it is not right for any man to parade his new girlfriend in front of his old girlfriend or his wife or whatever the case may be. God, they're morons.
Hey! We're having a little bit of a seating problem.
What are Rick and Reese doing here?
Oh, Elizabeth invited them. They're going to Manhattan, and the train is overbooked. And unfortunately, I had already invited Alexis, so things are going to be a little, a little tense.
Hey, listen. Perhaps I've overestimated the restfulness of this ride. I promise once we get to Manhattan, nothing but calm, okay?
Oh, at least you and Emily and I aren't glaring at each other, and compared to Rick and Alexis, we've got a lock on tranquility.
Hey.
Oh, boy.
Maybe not.
Oh, hey, good to see you. Good to see you. Courtney, Nicholas, how's it going? Look at that.
You weren't invited.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not riding along with you guys. I've had my own private car hitched up to the train.
Here's to your honeymoon.
Here's to a friend who made this all happen.
Right. Now, Nicholas deserves most of the credit.
I will stop being so polite. We know this wasn't easy for you to plan this with him. So thank you. Thank you for making our wedding a fairy tale come true.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys ready? Okay. 1, 2.
Remember I told you when I saw Carly at Roselawn, she had that doll? She was singing to it like, you know, calling it Michael in her own imaginary world. For a second, I gotta be honest with you, I said, at least she's happy. But now the doctors are calling me, telling me she's getting worse. So I'm trying to, you know, say, when do I say to them, okay, go ahead, drug her.
Do you trust Carly's doctors?
Well, I mean, they seem to know what they're doing, but I know Carly doesn't want to be drugged.
You have to think about what's best for her.
But that seems to me like it's the end of the line, like there's no more hope.
There's always hope, Sonny. Then Carly's a fighter.
Yes.
She's gonna draw strength from you, I know.
Right.
When I had cancer, I got so sick that the doctors had finally given up. They thought I was gonna die. But Nicholas, he wouldn't listen. He sat in the room next to mine, against the wall, as close as he could get, and he willed me to feel his strength, and his love. And he saved me. Look, if this is gonna be another warning about how Sonny's using me, I don't want to hear it. Nicholas, come on. It's supposed to be fun.
Well,
so
I just
let's
want
not
to know why
argue.
he's on the train, so...
He's going to Sinclair Falls. Right? Carly's in a mental hospital. It's this place called Roseland.
That's fine, but why not drive, and why does he always have to be around you?
He
I don't
needed
understand.
to talk. He's going through a really rough time, and he doesn't have anybody to help him. Jason's still sick. Sonny and Courtney aren't really that close, and no offense, Nicholas, but she's preoccupied with you. I'm Michael's aunt. I love him and Morgan, and for their sake, I'm just trying to help Sonny get through this.
I understand. I understand why Sonny counts on you to care and listen and understand. It's because that's what you do. So you are.
Well, a woman came in the cab, said that there was a fugitive aboard, said he was wanted in New York and Hawaii. So I think it's worthwhile running a check on him. Said it...
Dad, we need to pull the throttle back. Oh, it's stuck. Here, move on. On.
Jack, you're headed right towards another train.
Robin! Robin! Come over here. Ah, my legs are pinned. All right. Are you okay?
I'll see if I can find some help. Is it right there? Help!
It's too heavy.
Help!
You're gonna have to get help. Somebody help us! Hello?